Alright, let's have an example wherein we're asked to determine the centroid of a solid of revolution. And you know that a solid of revolution is formed by rotating an area about a particular axis of revolution. Now, our area boundaries is specified as a parabola. Then, of course, the easiest to plot the x-axis, which is also y is equal to 0, and a latus rectum, which is actually a line through the focus of the given parabola. So a latus rectum is a line that intersects the parabola at 2 points and is passing through the focus of the parabola. Now, you may wonder why the centroid of a solid a solid of revolution can be pinpointed by just 2 coordinates. Now, since it is a solid of revolution, then 2 coordinates will be enough. That will be explained later. So I'm going to plot the areas to be revolved, and the easiest, as I have said, is y is equal to 0. So before we'll be able to plot the latus rectum, we need to plot first the parabola. Okay, since we have plotted one of the intersections as one of the boundaries already in y is equal to 0, then we try to intersect the parabola with our first boundary so that x is also 0, and we will have point A. Let us plot this in our diagram. Alright, our parabola will pass through the origin. Now, since there are only a point, we cannot draw the parabola yet. So we need to identify at least 2 more points. Alright, so the next method will be tabular because we cannot anymore make use of intersection. So shall we say we assume a value of -1 for x. We know that we will solve that y is equal to infinity because the square root of a negative number is always infinity. This means to say that our parabola will not traverse through the region where x is negative, and these are quadrants 2 and 3. Alright, since our parabola will not traverse through regions or quadrants 2 and 3, we try the 2 other quadrants wherein x is positive, and these are quadrants 1 and 4. And as you can see, we will come up with 2 values of y because the square root of a particular number has 2 values. One is positive, the other one is negative. Since 4 is a perfect square, we may extract the root, and the square root of 4 is 2. So therefore, with only one x value, we will have 2 x coordinates, and they are, alright, these are the y coordinates of an x coordinate which is equal to 1, and this is point B. The intersection of course y is 2 square root of a, and x is equal to 1, and this is point C, that is -2 square root of a, and that is of course 1. Now, why that much for 2 times the square root of a? Remember that we don't know the value of a. It is, though, a constant, no, an arbitrary constant. So we may plot the length of a in any manner. It's up to us anyway. So as well as the length of 2 times the square root of a will be arbitrarily chosen. So you may choose a different length for 2 times the square root of a, but that length of -2 square root times the square root of a must be the same as that, only that this is below the so-called x-axis. So these are our 3 points, point A, point B, and point C. So we may now draw our parabola. Alright, there's our parabola, and since we still have one more boundary, we need to locate the focus of this particular parabola so that we'll be able to solve for its, or determine its latus rectum. Now, for that parabola that opens to the right and whose vertex is at the origin, then that's the standard equation where P there represents the horizontal distance of the focus from the vertex. In comparing the two, the equation of the parabola as one of our boundaries and its standard equation, we can easily determine that 4a is equal to 4p, or the length or the distance of v from f is going to be equal also to a. Alright, since the length of a is arbitrarily chosen, we may plot it anywhere we wanted. It may be after 1 or before 1, as long as that it is labeled as a, and therefore the equation of that line is x is equal to a, and that distance between the vertex and the focus. So this is the focus of our parabola. It should be equal to p, or in this case it's going to be equal to a. So as you can see, we have two areas, above the x-axis or below the x-axis. But since we are free to choose, we may select the area above the x-axis because it is at quadrant number 1, where all coordinates are positive.